Hey guys, sorry we're running a little bit late here. We were I got a new song for both shows for Real Talk and the other side. We were trying to figure out how to get it on this format here so we could play it for you. And we're kind of having a little difficulty. So we're going to try to get it uploaded somehow so we can have it for both shows because it actually fits both shows. Um, Tonight is going to be very interesting, and Gabriella is going to be running the show tonight. So I'm sure you guys are glad to see her back.
Did you write down any of the info for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like I didn't go into detail because I wanted more to be more of a surprise element. Excuse me.
Well, I didn't write down the part that you said about
What part?
what it ties in with.
Oh, okay. I can bring that in. I'm looking for tonight's show. Sprain draft in my. Oh, geez. Hi, Cactus. Hi, Linda. Yeah, Linda, you need to be careful. I think you're just taking on a little bit too much here lately. So you're going to have to, I know it's hard for you, but slow down a little bit and take it easy. I'm going to start with the weather like we normally do here. Our weather has been gorgeous lately. Today we got into high 70s. It said we hit 76. Let me see what the current temperature is. Let me see if I can get what the current temperature. It says current temperature is 63, but it feels like 62. We got up to 76 today. We're only supposed to get down to 52, so it's going to be a little bit warm tonight. Tomorrow's supposed to rain all day. I know Tom's supposed to have work tomorrow, but if it's going to be raining all day, it's calling for it in the morning. I don't know if he's going to have work. But 77 tomorrow, 44 at night. Saturday's going to be our coldest. It's supposed to dip back down to 62 on Saturday with clouds and only 42 at night, which is still nice. That's comfortable. But then Sunday, 76, Monday, 71, and then up into the 80s, which is unreal for Pennsylvania this time of the year. That's like our summer temperatures, not our spring temperatures. So quite interesting that we're getting those type of temperatures coming this time of year here. So before we get Gabriella started here too, I don't know if anybody noticed Abby's post on Lurking Spirits and my post. For those of you who didn't, Lurking Spirits is going to go live on Saturday. So we will not have the other side with Diane on Saturday. It will be a Lurking Spirits live, and it'll be a premiere of the last like 40 minutes or so of our investigation. For those of you that watched the first part, watch this part very closely because Eric doesn't remember anything at all from the first part. You will notice that he will say something, I think once or twice in this last bit, but really pay close attention to like the last 10 to 15 minutes when Chase and Charlie are talking back and forth, when Gabriella goes under the Estes, and then what transpires, because that's when everything like really came to a head and where they're like, whoa, what's going on? And I literally jumped up and said, guys, we're stopping the video right now. We got to get down to the break room. We got to figure out what in the heck just happened here. So what we'll probably do is we'll all watch that video together so everybody can keep a close eye. And then I don't know if Abby wants to go right straight live, right directly after that so we can have a discussion, or if she wants to have a discussion a couple days after that. So that is it's going to be quite interesting. And then tomorrow we're supposed to get our Universal Yums package in, which is from Japan. So next Thursday, unless we have a show in between, will be the Universal Yums, and unless we decide, hey, maybe Wednesday or something, or Monday to throw a real talk in and do it, we'll decide over the weekend how we're going to do it, but you guys will know plenty of time. So with that all being said, boom, boom.
Today's topic of discussion is a man named Alex Collier I came across him on Instagram. I was scrolling on Instagram. Instagram always has like crazy things on it. So I was scrolling on Instagram and I found this one post of him doing an interview with a guy, and no, he was being interviewed by a guy, and he was saying some pretty wild things, which I believe because I'm also crazy. So, and there's a lot of things that
We're all a bit crazy though, so
there's a lot of things that make sense. I don't think that somebody could just make up all the things that he says. And if you watch the video that I will link in the comments, he is so like, he gets so angry about this, like that nobody's doing anything about it. And he gets so like eager to get the word out. And he's still on the post for some reason, it says that after that interview, he was found dead. He was not. He still is alive, and he does podcasts on YouTube and everything about the same situation and getting further into detail and other things as well.
You can also go on Casper site. I know, Linda, you watch Casper site. For anybody that wants to look at another section or part of this story, go on Casper site. He actually does cover this, but at a different angle, and it goes into a different direction, which what she said I'll tie in after she's done with her story.
Yeah, because I did not know about this until she told me. So, and I was only able to do the research that I did today because I was on a mini vacation with my minions.
Which I told them. So I said, you did say that I could say you could come on, I could invite you, but they're no, you don't have enough time with him since he works long hours. So I figured Eric was more than happy to.
It was a nice vacation, but I wish that he was more there.
Well, it wasn't actually a vacation for you. It was, but for him,
it wasn't
still,
for him though too, because we still went in the hot tub and everything. Well. So, anyways, Alex Collier, he is a prominent UFO contactee and lecturer who claims to have
You did hear that, right?
Yeah.
That goes with our song. Is somebody out there? Maybe it's Santa jumping out again. I don't know. Go ahead.
He attacked me earlier.
Yeah, I'll tell them about that later on. It's never stopping for us here, guys. Never stops.
It's getting weird. It's getting weirder and weirder by the day.
Yeah, so we'll
whatever
do this and then we'll talk about that.
So, anyways, Alex Collier. You throw pixie dust at them when
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Anyways, Alex Collier is a prominent UFO contactee and lecturer who claims to have had contact with extraterrestrials from the Andromeda constellation. His testimony heavily features detailed accounts of a reptilian agenda focusing on the influence of Draco or Draco reptilian beings on human history and society. So it's gonna get crazy because I have this and then the quote of that video.
Yeah, and I have stuff that I can add on to that.
So I have this in kind of like bullet points. So the first one is draconian agenda. Collier describes a reptilian empire, specifically the Draconians, as malevolent beings who have engineered humanity captivity through fear, genetic manipulation, and the management of human religion. Which you'll find out. through the quoted interview snippet. Second bullet point is human manipulation. He alleges that reptilians, in conjunction with Greys, have infiltrated human governments and work with elite secret societies, often referred to as the Illuminati, to control global financial and military power. The third one is genetic manipulation and abduction. Collier has described underground laboratories where reptilian beings conduct genetic experimentation on humans, including the creation of hybrid races. And the last bullet point is energy harvesting. A key element of his claims is that these entities feed off human fear and negative emotions, like a demon. That's scary.
Wow.
Oh, I have more bullet points. I forgot that I wrote down. I thought that was the last bullet point, so...
Uh-oh.
The next bullet point. Andromedan perspective. Collier claims to relay information from benevolent Andromedians who are providing humanity with information to achieve sovereignty. I can't say that word right.
No, that's right. Sovereignty.
And escape the influence of the reptilian agenda. Historical influence. He claims that many global political and social issues are or have been manipulated by these entities to keep humanity divided and submissive. And this is like the overall of the whole thing. So it says Collier's accounts, which he has shared since the 1990s, often detail the involvement of these beings in creating a new world order and their historical influence over Earth. This narrative is categorized within the space opera or whistleblower testimony genre of ufology.
Ufology.
Shouldn't there be two O's there for ufology?
I guess ufology, UFOlogy, however you want to say it.
Ufology. There we go. You're welcome.
Ufology.
Linda was just watching this on TV, apparently.
Did you watch Casper Sight, Linda? The one with Casper Sight? Is that the one you watched? Or
it'd be nice if I could actually read this without the whole time. Ufology.
There you go. Ufology.
Ufology.
Yeah. See?
That's what it is. UFO.
However you want to say it.
He spoke to UFO beings. So there's an ufology.
It's an UFO cover-up.
It's an UFO cover-up. There we go. So, I put this little thing as the quoted interview snippet from Instagram because this is literally the video that I will share to you guys when I find it again.
Plus, we have to find out. We're still confused on exactly copyright do's and don'ts because I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you do because you're avid fans and you watch us all the time. When we did our little thing over Halloween and we used just that little tiny snippet of the Freddy Krueger song, well, we kind of got a warning about that. We didn't get like a mark against us or anything like that, but they did put like a question mark of copyright infringement.
Well, they
and more or less told us to be careful.
They can, it would be way worse if we were monetized. But since we're not earning any money from doing this, then it's just a small strike.
Not yet. 1 month from now, we're going to be so hot and everybody's going to say, hey, I want to see those two.
Let's watch them. Put them on.
Put them on.
Hey, my show's on. No, it was about UFOs, TV series about alien invasions,
Okay.
reptilians, and greys.
Yep. There's a lot on it.
I have heard a lot about the greys specifically, not so much the reptilians or the Andromedians or
The Greys are the ones that's really supposed to be big, tied in with Area 51 and that whole Roswell and all that shit.
which is crazy because when the AI Atlas or whatever it was called was flying by, the psychics on TikTok, they were like, "Oh, I spoke to the Greys." That's not good. You spoke to the Greys. That's bad. That is very, very bad.
Yep. Okay.
So, this is how it goes. The interviewer says, Andromedians tell you that the Alpha Draconis are here now. Where? Alex says there are 1,833 of them that have been living underground between 100 and 200 miles beneath the surface. Some of them have been here a long, long time. They have lifespans that are thousands of years. They're carnivorous. They are not friendly to mankind, at least the ones that are here.
That's exactly what I heard.
The interviewer says, when you say carnivorous, they eat humans? Alex says, yes. They won't eat a dead human. It has to be alive at the time of the killing. Their preference is children. You know, we've been told, and then he said, we've been told you shouldn't talk about that. You know, there are other people. I don't know why I wrote the you know part, because there are other people who will say, well, you better not talk about the reptilians. Well, you know, bull. Why not? And this is where he starts getting like kind of angry about it. And then he said, according to the Andromedians, they're responsible for 31,712 children disappearing in the last 25 years from the United States. These children were food, and I'm supposed to just shut up and not say anything about it because people don't want to hear it. That's tough. And then he says that's tough again. And then he said, you know, Westchester.
Yeah. Westchester.
It's like Worcestershire. Freaking Westchester County in the last 5 years, 3,000 children in Westchester County, New York, have vanished without a trace. Where are they going? Why are we allowing this to happen, and why should people stay in denial about it? The interviewer said, how are they able to do this? How are they able to come out of this from underground and do it, or do they have agents working? And then he was going to say something else, but he cut him off. So Alex said, they have tunneling systems everywhere. They're being helped by the Greys, and also there are groups within the higher echelon that are actually helping them acquire this. And then the interviewer says, so human beings are abducting the kids and giving them to the Greys, who in turn give them to the Alpha Draconis. Alex said, that's right. That's part of the deal. They won't come up as long as we've fed them down there. You understand it's about human beings selling themselves out. The echelon attitude here, the needs of the few outweigh the needs of humanity, and sorry, that just isn't right. But it's going to have to be humanity that's going to rise up and take the stand. You're just going to have to turn off your televisions. They're going to have to get in their car. They're going to have to fire everybody in Washington, D.C. that knows and does nothing, and they're going to have to do something. This apathy got to end. Otherwise, the way we live is going to end. Period. I mean, that's the bottom line, and I'm not calling from a fear space. I'm really quite angry about the apathy and the fact that when people give lectures and try to tell us, people want to stand up and fight with them. Look at what's happening around us. The indications are everywhere. The truth is now an obscure thing. The law is the norm. There is something wrong here. What's wrong with this picture?
And that's the clip. If you want to see that interview and you don't want to, if you go on Casper sites, that episode, you'll know it's with the right one, because he has right across his screen, it shows him and it shows reptilian. And in that video,
I can easily find it on
in that video,
my phone.
This guy is on there and he's talking about that, this exact
and
interview.
You literally need to watch the clip, because you'll feel the emotion that he's feeling and how upset he is about talking about this, and that nobody wants to listen. And even the interviewer, he says a few things in between that I did not get, and he interrupts him because he's so upset about it that nobody's doing anything about it.
Conscious! Hey, Conscious! Welcome. How are ya?
Hey, Conscious.
Hey, Conscious.
Hey, Conscious. Hey, Conscious. So yeah, that's all I got.
So now to pick up, if you remember one of our episodes that we did a while back, and if you go on Bad to the Bone on Angelina, she also has it on one of her clips. The lady that was in the airplane, the infamous airplane lady that she got all freaked out on the plane, and she pointed to the guy in the back and she says, I don't care what any of you guys think, but that mother is not human. And they ended up having to escort her off the plane. Well, that ties in with this. Ironically, when Gabriella's reading on her there about the higher echelon of people, this ties into with current events. And what I mean by that is, when he was talking and there were interviews, he was talking about the very, very, very rich and powerful. And he didn't completely come out and mention names, but he did, they did say, I think it was Casper site that said it. He doesn't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. But how ironically, the Epstein files is a big topic right now. There's children involved. There are claims of children being used and being killed. They're tying, there's a possible tie. They said that the government, the whole Epstein crap at his ranch, all these missing children are part of this, that not only are they using the children, but then they're taking them and presenting them to these reptilian creatures and giving them their food that they want and that they need just to still keep it. Now, there's so much cover up going on now. When Obama and them was in, they did come out, they admitted that there are UFOs and there are aliens, but just how far does that go? And how does it tie in? We do have tons and tons of missing children every day. These are supposed to be part of the cover up in with the Area 51. And this guy, I believe this same guy, could have been a different one, had even gone into not only reptilian creatures, but he said there's some called insectoids or something like that. That there's some that even they're insect-like, and I guess they're not quite as aggressive as the reptilians, because reptilians want humans and mainly children.
Because the reptilians are carnivorous.
Yeah. And so how this all ties in with current events and missing children and things like that right now. But there's so much cover-up going on right now in the government, and that you don't know what to believe, what you don't believe. But they were showing clips, like they showed that lady on the airplane. There was another one they showed a video of somebody high up, and I can't remember who it was, but they showed a close up, and they showed how he appeared, how he talked. He was kind of almost like he was kind of like alien like, and his eyes and that did not move like normal people's eyes, almost more like reptilian and stuff like that. But some of these are supposed to be not so much in Area 51, but under the tunnels of Area 51. And they do tie in with the Greys and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting how more and more things are coming out now. And all of a sudden, with the Epstein thing going on and everything that's going on now, all of a sudden now the reptilian stuff is coming out all over now. Channel after channel after channel is covering the reptilians again. So, I mean, you're going to come to your own conclusion. I'm like Gabriella. There is something funky going on. And of course, when you have money, you can hide things, you can cover up things, you can make sure that nobody finds out about these things. And especially if it's tied in with the government, Lord knows you start finding out too much. All of your stuff's missing. All of your information's gone, and the next thing you know, you disappear. So,
yep.
It kind of, it makes you sit down and wonder, like, do you want to know? How much do you want to know? And if you do find out, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Because I mean, I'm a little bit nervous about us even covering this now, especially with the tie-in of current events and children, that somebody's going to come knocking at our door and saying, hey, like, where'd you get this information from? What all do you know? And, like, we only know what we found out ourselves, but it does seem to tie in. They said, this guy in particular said the higher echelon, the real mega rich, and who are some of, there's Elon Musk in there, that's real rich. Epstein was filthy rich. Couple other people that I do not want to get into that are high up in there that got a lot of pull and a lot of people around them.
I remember when they were going to storm Area 51. I kind of wish that they did.
Yeah.
Because then we would finally know what the fuck they're hiding in there. Because there is no way that you're going to tell me that it's just like military weaponry or whatever, and you have it so guarded that somebody goes up to the gate and you already have a gun in your face.
And then there's that one Gray that they said that they communicate with all the time, that they have him. It's T-Rod or J-Rod or something like that. He's supposed to be in Area 51, and he communicates with them all the time. He tells them what their race is.
And I find it ironic, too, that you could find videos of and interviews of people who worked at Area 51, and
you got shiny on your.
I don't know. It's probably just a sparkle.
It was the sparkle. What? See, look. See it?
Oh, it's from my nail
okay,
polish.
because it was. They're like, what is sparkly on your face?
Yeah, my nail polish is coming off chunks. Anyways, what was I saying? I don't remember what I was gonna say. What was I saying?
I don't know.
She wasn't even paying attention.
I was paying attention, but I was paying attention to your sparkle too.
Oh, you can find people who worked at Area 51 on interviews and everything on TV. There's a show about it and everything else. And they will tell you that there were like body bags that came out that did not look human. There are certain parts of the facility that they're not even allowed to go in, and if they do, then they could get in trouble. And they're not supposed to say anything about it because...
Well, here's the other funny thing about it, too. You said it in there. The scary part is these carnivorous reptilian creatures, they said they want to have a superior race. They want to have a hybrid race. And it's reported that they will seek out like some of these alien abductions with these, not so much with the ships and that, but them coming up from underground and these reptilian people among us. that some of these missing like females are being abducted by these reptilians purposely for breeding so that they can have a hybrid race to see exactly what kind of breed that they can produce.
It kind of makes you wonder with some of the celebrities. Like, there's some weird celebrities out
like
there.
That lady me and Eric pointed out on TV. She's on this one new series out, and we looked and we said, she looks like a reptile.
There is some celebrities that you have no information on their background or where they came from or anything, and they just appear and they become popular and well known by everybody out of the blue. Like, how does that happen?
They sold their soul. They went to a crossroad demon and they sold their soul.
Or so.
They sold their soul.
Sold their soul. Village.
It is terrifying to think about it. Like, we're watching that, and it's funny because Gabriella told me at least 2 weeks ago or more that she was going to cover this topic, and I said that's a good one. And then ironically, like, I check Casper site. So guys, if you're watching Casper site, Mr. Ballins and Peter Laws, if any of you are watching, woo, here we are. Anyhow, I started scanning through because I like to see what's on each one of them, if they have a new thing out and what the subject is. And I'm scanning through Casper site, and it just came out here recently, I think, and it said reptilian. And they're like, damn, that's what Gabriella's covering. So I started watching it, and he's had this guy that Gabriella's talking about, that he had him on the show. And because Casper site was actually talking with him in an interview. And he was pretty intense about it, and he had to be very careful. But he said he's at the point where he just don't care because people need to know. And
or he's got to be like an old man now.
Yeah. And then he was talking about that the airplane lady says, well, here's an example. Like, she was pretty upset, but was that person on the plane a reptilian?
And that's another one that still rubs me the wrong way.
I know where you're going to go with it.
You mean to tell me that she says that there's something back there, and then the security and everything at the freaking airport when she actually gets off is like, oh, she was drunk. Or even after
nobody smelled any alcohol or anything that on her, which is ironic.
I mean, she probably drank. I mean, they said that she had like maybe a few beers or something before she got on the plane, but she was acting perfectly normal. She wasn't stumbling around. She wasn't slurring her words or anything, but she was like, that mother effer back there is not real.
I don't care what you people believe, but I'm telling you.
But the thing that is weird.
And she was petrified too. Like, you can see it's not like she was drunk. She looked like she was scared to death of whatever that was.
The weird part is too, she did disappear for a little bit. And then they supposedly had her back for an interview in her own house, where she was ironically wearing the exact same thing that she was wearing,
had her
with
hair
the exact same makeup
as
she was on the plane. And her face looked different.
It
looked like somebody, even her voice.
Her
voice was different. Yeah. When she came back, she looked very different. Her voice was different. But the only thing that stayed the same was her exact same look. Like, they took that person that was actually in the video and tried to replicate them with the exact same look, exact same hairstyle, exact same makeup, but failed because people like us are like, that person has like a wider nose. That person doesn't have the exact same voice. That person might be a little bit taller. That's not the same person. And so that bugs me too, because how does she just disappear and then all of a sudden reappear with a different personality?
See, and there's so much cover up, and like they're kind of letting the cat out of the bag a little bit by little bit. Like when the Obama administration was in, they did come out, and Hillary said if she would have gotten the presidency, she would have revealed more too. But they let some of it out, and Trump's trying to let some of it out. And it's just like, but it's like teasing stuff. Now, all of a sudden, everybody and their brother is all of a sudden covering into this reptilian. And one of the big topics lately is release the Epstein files, mainly because of the children involved. It's bad enough when you have these situations involving adults, but now they're getting into children, and it's sickening, but they're even saying babies, and they're talking about possibly some bodies being at the Epstein ranch. And, it's kind of like all tying in, and they're kind of connecting the dots here now, and more things are like.
What I find ironic is that only a few years ago, everybody had a suspicion that aliens were real. Everybody was like, there's no way that we are the only people on this earth for thousands of years. Everybody's had that suspicion. Only a few years ago, the government decided to say, oh yeah, aliens are real, but, they're not a big threat or anything. And then you find videos like this where people from the government are speaking out and saying that actually we should probably fucking be worried.
Especially from the people like the reptilians.
Because of the reptilians and the greys.
Yep. And that's where it's getting
first. And nobody's doing
first
anything
about it.
First
they said they didn't want to say anything. The reason why they didn't is because they didn't want the country to be, or the world to be, into a panic. Well, covering it up puts everybody into a panic because it's a need to know. We need to know what's going on.
Because what's going to happen if they do come back from an underground and they don't have the people or children that they want anymore? Like one of the government officials completely disobeyed them, and they do step up and they're like, no, this is not how this works. They could literally take over our entire species as we know it, and nobody's doing anything about it because they're too scared. And so they're just going to keep on feeding them and abiding by their roles.
And there's so many, not only like people missing, but like children, that they're not finding any trace of these children at all. And like now, like there's just more and more coming out, and it's kind of scary. And
if they do find them, there's been a few cases like that. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Where they do eventually find the children, but it's just bones. Like they disappeared and then they reappeared somewhere else.
And there's just like, especially recently now, there's just like a lot that's going on. But yeah, so I don't know, what do you guys think about all that? What's your opinion? And do you have any other information that, I know it wasn't in depth she could have had, like, we could have been sitting here for hours talking about this with all the information, but she just wanted to get to the gist of it.
I wanted to get to the gist of it, and I had to clean up our apartment and clean out the litter box.
Well, but still, it was like the main topic at hand and stuff like that. So
I had things to do today.
But there's too many secrets going on, and I would think if it's the safety of our people, we need to know. It shouldn't be something that should be covered up, because we should know how to handle and prepare ourselves to keep our children safe from this, and different things like that. We need to be prepared.
I think it's interesting that even Jim Carrey, he was coming out and he was saying, he like had his hands up like this in one of the interviews, and he was sticking his tongue through. I'm not doing that. That's weird. And he was doing that throughout the whole entire interview to, I think, Jimmy Kimmel.
There's been a lot of
Jimmy Kimmel.
There's a lot of celebrities that's been doing that.
And Jimmy Kimmel was like, what are you doing? He's like, don't tell me that you don't know what this is. And then he started explaining what it was. It was a sign of the Illuminati. He's like, you're in it, this person's in it, that person's in it, every celebrity ever is in it. And that's
the other thing, like, we just went to the Masonic Temple. Well, the Masonic Temple is a secret society. And like, if you're going to have a society, that why are there things that's so much secrets that they're not even allowed to say it outside of their group of people? Like, and if you say anything in the society, some of the reprimands from it is they still use the word death. So, like, what do they know? What do they not want us to know? And stuff like that. There's just too many of these things that's there's those big question marks that we've talked about before that, you know, it's like the old saying, inquiring minds want to know. Well, it's not that we just want to know anymore. It's to the point we need to know so that we can prepare and protect our children and our families. Yep. It's not just, you know,
but everything's always just getting swept under the rug by the government because they hide everything.
Yep. So
Kimmel was trying to play dumb as if he didn't know.
Yeah.
He had this such a shocked look on his face when Jim Carrey started doing that, and then he started acting dumb, like, what is that? What are you doing? And Jim Carrey was like, no, you know what this is. They know what this is. Everybody in the studio knows what this sign means.
So there's like a hell of a lot of stuff going on. And
the new Jim Carrey, they replaced him because he was leaking stuff.
It's, you know, well, there's a lot of, and it gets back to the rich and the hierarchy, the higher echelon, who are rich. A lot of celebrities, like they're millionaires and billionaires. Like, what do they know? And look at over the course of recent years, some of the celebrities that started coming out a bit, and they either got killed or they disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to them. Yep. Or if they disappeared and they came back, they were like not the same. It was almost like they went through either torture or brainwashing or something. That's what they say about.
So there is a theory, which I did tell Mom about it before, but I think maybe a few weeks ago or so. There's a theory in Hollywood that if you're a celebrity and your hair is dyed blonde, obviously he bleached it, but they're saying that it's actually people going through this like memory erasure thing because of Ariana Grande's one song she has where she's trying to forget everything about her either current boyfriend or ex-boyfriend or whatever that she was still in love with. But she goes into this machine, and then after she goes into the machine, her hair is a different color. While shortly before that video even came out, she ironically had her hair dyed blonde, and she got skinnier, she got super thin, along with a bunch of other celebrities in Hollywood who have lost extreme weight, who have ironically just turned blonde out of the blue. And when they do interviews, it's like they tried to ask Ariana Grande a question, which it could have been a joke, but it didn't seem like a joke to me. They asked her a question and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, my mind is a little foggy from the memory erasure. And like, it could have been a joke.
A lot of them, not only did they change a lot, but when they come out, like, they have a whole different personality. They're not the same as what they were right before they disappeared and came back.
Ariana Grande specifically, it's weird that she had to lose so much weight for this Wicked cast. She is almost acting like a frail old woman in interviews. And the lady that she's casted with in the Wicked movies, she's like by her nonstop. Like, she's like obsessed with her. She's always holding her arm or her hand, and she's like acting like her bodyguard, but she's just as thin as her.
Well, look at Kelly Osbourne now. Like, now that I know her and Sharon both was using at Ozempic, whatever. They were both using that and lost a hell of a lot of weight, but Callie's just getting, and the parent, like, she broke up with her fiance. Apparently she's supposed to have another boyfriend, and I guess Sharon doesn't like him, and it's like her personality has changed too. Like, is that possibly a tie
in Hollywood where people are losing tons and tons of weight, like overnight, they are dyeing their hair blonde or bleaching it or erasing memories or whatever, to where in interviews and like red carpet things, they're just completely different people. They're not the same people as they were, which people do change. Yeah, but not overnight. You cannot like people. Even so, Ariana Grande, she speaks like this now, but she didn't speak like this before.
I agree. Like the loss of her father did have an impact on it, but it also had an impact on Sharon. Sharon actually seems like she's put on a little bit of the weight that she had lost and that she's trying. Callie just seemed to have gone in a different direction. I mean, I know she's still in mourning and everything and that, but it's just like something's not right about her. And she keeps on telling everybody she's okay and everything, but she's just getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And Callie's not. Callie's, which is kind of it's kind of funny. I mix the two together. Callie was always very short. How did she get so tall all of a sudden? Or is it just because she's so thin and it makes her look tall?
I think it's just because she's so thin.
Because she just like it's just so
she wears
weird
and eccentric outfits all the time. So
Kelly did take the loss of her father really bad. So did Sharon, though. I honestly thought Sharon, we were going to lose her too, just from a broken heart. Kelly did go on though, and she was pretty bubbly right after that. They went on, and her and Sharon sang a song together in honor for Ozzy. She was doing all kinds of interviews, and she seemed to be okay personality wise, but then all of a sudden then she just took this turn, and it's just I don't know. See, but that's like me. Kelly, I mean, being thinner will make you look taller, but she just looks like extra tall compared to this little short, tiny, chubby girl that she used
wear
to
like
be.
Eccentric outfits all the time and heels and stuff. So I mean, it could just be that. But
does anybody have any other comments on any of this? Because it is an interesting topic, and it does make you think, like, you know, like, what are we doing
so far into a rabbit hole with this entire subject that it's crazy.
Yeah, and it is. It's insane. It's something that you sit down and you just start thinking of all these incidents like, wait a minute. I have to show you that lady me and Eric's talking about. It's ironic. It was like when me and you said the same thing at the exact same moment the other day. Me and Eric, we saw this lady that's on this series, and we exact same time said, she looks like she could be one of those reptilian people because she looks not human. She's very eccentric looking, very strange looking. So
it is weird how even like cameras on interviews and stuff, some of them could be edited and shit, but some of them that weren't edited, and you see someone blink and they blink like this instead of like this, and you can literally see like their eye go.
I wish I could remember the guy that they showed on there the other day. He's somebody well known, and he's higher up his hierarchy, and they showed him, and he was talking, and the way he was talking was like almost alien, like how they have that slow paced like talk, and the way the eyes moved were not normal. They showed another one too, a female, and they showed a real close up of her pupils, and her pupils looked like they went from round to slits. Just as you were watching,
like this, and they have their eye like open, but you could see like a flick of like something in there.
It's real weird seeing that. So, but anybody have any questions or anything like that? I know I've asked that about 1,000 times. I don't like to be redundant, but I don't want to miss anybody if they have anything. So we'll put that aside, and we'll tell you what happened to us the past couple of days. This house is definitely haunted. I'm not saying that it's anything that we need to be afraid of, but I also
want to tell you about my dream. that I
Yeah.
had for like 2 nights in a row, and it was creepy.
And I hate to say use the word, but like we actually may possibly even have a poltergeist type incident because we can't explain how it happened. But
After what happened, yeah, I would say that it was.
So I don't know. But I kind of been depressed lately too, so I'm hoping I'm
Mother.
I have been, and
Well, it's probably all the emotions.
well,
in the
yeah,
house.
and that's so but I kind of like I'm off
Don't
today
create
too.
a portal
Yeah,
like I did in my room.
I'm
please.
kind of off today too, so
Stop it.
just yeah. So bear with me, guys. We're gonna go rewind back to the other day. Getting ready for the show. I was blow drying my hair. This was on Tuesday, and my hair was real wet, and I'm blow drying it, and I turned the blow dryer off, and we have this box that has shoes and that in and outside of our bathroom, and I put the blow dryer there, and I wanted to check to see how much time I had before the show started. So put the blow dryer down, go out, check the time in there. Okay, I still have time to at least get my hair almost completely dry. So I walked back in the hallway, just went past what was right like by where the box is, and I hear click, and the blow dryer turns on, and I always put it on high, hot and high, and it was on low. And I'm there like looking at it because I literally heard as I walked by it click, and it turns on, and I'm there like, uh, okay. So I turned it off, and I literally stood there for a couple minutes like, okay, if you turn back on, I think I'm probably going to run because that's a little bit too freaky if it turns on when I'm standing right there. But it didn't turn back on, so I very carefully picked it up, turned it on back to high speed that I turn it on, and finished blow drying my hair. So that was that. That happened then. Then last night, Eric took the dogs out to do their business for the night, and we're sitting in the living room and we're just talking back and forth. I wasn't sure if I wanted to put something else on TV or not because we did watch a couple movies yesterday. And we hear crash in the kitchen. And we both looked at each other then whether what the hell was that? And it was a loud crash and it sounded like metal. Like so I'm thinking maybe a metal strainer or something fell off the sink that was just freshly washed or something. So I go in to check to the kitchen, and the pail that we have in the kitchen that has our dog food in, it was laying on the floor on the side. Now it didn't have much dog food in it yet, so it was on the floor, and the two metal dishes, their bowls that was on top of it, was about 3 feet away, right in front of our kitchen sink, but turned upside down, and they were both together, which we do put them together, so that part's not odd, but they were over by the sink a couple feet away and flipped completely over. And I'm there looking and they're like, okay, I can understand the thing falling and the thing falling off and maybe rolling or something, but we didn't hear anything rolling. We just heard a crash. And so I went in to ask Eric. I said, Eric, when you took the dogs out, did Max or anybody go over by the container and maybe nudged it a little bit forward where it fell and then it kind of just threw which kind of is just weird. The dishes to be thrown that far was just too far fetched. But he said no. He said they went straight out. They weren't by where their dog thing was. So they're like, okay, that's mystery number 2. Then we're sitting here today, and I have our One Ring camera. It's a round one. It's an indoor one. So when we call it our paranormal hallway camera.
Did you ask Dad about that?
Yeah, he said no. He said, Anna, I was too busy. He says, I didn't have time to be playing pranks today. He was nonstop busy today. So we're sitting here, and the Ring camera, we have it listed as our paranormal hallway because sometimes at night we'll put it on our one stand here in the living room, and we'll have it facing our stair steps and living room. or we'll have it facing in this direction so we can see if anything over there where, we have weird shit happening. But I didn't have it there. I have it on top of our refrigerator where now it faces that what I'm calling our art room that I'm going to have in the future, or in the hallway. So we're sitting in the living room, and the thing will only go off if something walks in front of that. But the panic alarm started going off on it. I didn't hear it at first, and then all of a sudden they said
I thought it was outside. I thought somebody's car was
that's what I thought at first.
But then I paused the video that we were watching, Mr. Ballin. And I paused the video. I was like, that's
the ring
coming from the kitchen. What could be making that sound? And then I was like, oh my God, that's the panic alarm on the Ring camera.
And what on a Ring camera, if anything walks in front of it or picks up motion, the blue light will come on and flicker. And the blue light was flickering on and off. So we're going out there, the panic alarm's going they kept on saying, Dad's pranking us, Dad's pranking. I said, I don't think, because when he has these jobs, he doesn't have time to even eat his lunch, let alone sit there and try to prank us. But that did make the most sense. So I pick up the camera and it's blinking blue, and I pick it up, and when I cover it, it stops. So I wait for a couple. It wasn't bad battery.
So in order for the panic alarm to go off, you literally have to be in the app and press the panic alarm. Like, there's no other way to set that off.
And the low battery, that thing, I've already had it went completely dead, and it never even as much as beeped or anything. It just goes dead. It doesn't do any alarm or anything. It just dies, and that's it. I'll get if I go and check like on the app, it'll say we cannot process any videos because of low battery or dead battery. It'll say something like that. It doesn't do
it says network issues.
Yeah, or network issues or something like that. Yeah. So anyhow, I picked it up and I waited a couple minutes. It stopped. Put it back on the refrigerator. It was not doing anything. I take a couple steps away and it would go off again.
That was another weird thing. As soon as me and Abby went out into the kitchen to see if that's what it was, we got up to it and it immediately stopped. And then we walked away and it would start again. And then everybody came in and it stopped. And then it would continue to do that. And so Mom grabbed it and then it stopped.
I did it about 3 times. And then finally I said, you know what? I'm going to take the battery and pull the battery partially out and just let it set for about 15 minutes and see what happens. And so I let it set for about 15 minutes. I pushed the battery back in, put it back in the refrigerator. It hasn't done anything since. I mean, it'll, like, if somebody comes in or goes out, it'll beep, beep, did like the sound that it makes, and we'll look, oh, okay, Tom's coming home from work.
And so loud. Like I said, when I first heard it, I thought that somebody's car was going off.
That's what it sounded like.
And then I was like, no, that sounds like it's closer. And so that's when I paused the video and was like, oh my God, that is the Ring camera panic button being pressed.
And I checked the battery. The battery's still like at 27-30%. I'm going to have to charge it tomorrow. But Tom came home. It picked up Tom, showing that he came home. I checked the live. The live still works. Like, it's not saying, hey, replug in the battery now, it's too low, because usually it'll give a warning when it's about like 5% or something like that, maybe even 10%. It'll say a warning, low battery. It was 27%. It didn't do anything. It's picking up anybody. Like, we go out in the kitchen now, it'll pick our reflection up in the mirror, in the sliding doors out there. But no sounds, no beeps. It's working perfectly. There's nothing wrong with it. And the weird thing is that flashing blue light was going on. That only comes on if there's motion detected. Now, when I went back on the live and looked, there was some kind of like, I'm going to say that it was sunlight, but there's no sunlight that can come in on that direction, because you got to think, is our refrigerators like sideways. It was on the refrigerator, and there was a box in front of this part here blocking any light that would be able to get to it. And then there was another item on the other side. So it was literally sitting in between. Like, I think I have a big cooking pot, one of those soup pots up on there, and then a big box. It was sitting in between there, and at the angle, if it's looking out towards our art room, even sunlight or couldn't come in through there, because when the sunlight comes in, it hits like that mirror that Tom calls the haunted mirror, and it goes in that direction. It does not come in into our kitchen. The only light that comes in our kitchen is through our kitchen, by our sink, and where that window is, if it shines in, it's reflecting on the front of the refrigerator. It's not reflecting on the side of the refrigerator in between the big box. It's a box that has like containers in it, and that those what do you call those containers that you put like casseroles in, or little, yeah, like almost like a Tupperware, but they're not Tupperware, but Rubbermaid, whatever kind, those type of containers with the lids. It was one of those boxes, and then it's in between another. So even if the sunlight was coming in, it's not there by the camera. It doesn't make any sense, and we haven't heard it all day. So that's the third one. Then that hallway where we hear noises a lot, and sometimes, the noises and the groans, whatever. Gabriella goes over to check on her cat Milo, because when they were gone, Milo decided to help himself to some treats, and he decided to jump up and get the treats with the catnip in it and open it up, and he decided to help himself. So she went over today checking on him, see if he's calmed down, if he's still wound up, whatever. So she goes off, she comes back in, and she comes in the room, she says, "I was attacked by Santa." I said, "What?" She said, "Santa attacked me." In that hallway, I still have some bins in that with some Christmas stuff in it, and I have two of those Santas that's about 4 foot tall. And I have the one kind of in the back, and the other one I have there. Now, mind you, I've had this Santa in the same position since right after Christmas. Never fell, never moved. It's in the same spot. She walks in and she says she feels something on her, and she looks, Santa's attached to her arm.
I had a sweater on, so it was kind of a thick sweater too. So I walk through the door. I don't hear anything. I don't see anything, but I feel something like almost like tugging on my sweater, on my arm part of my sweater. I was like, what the heck? I look over. Santa is grabbing he's like leaning on my arm. I'm like, what the heck? And then I fling him back into place.
Yeah, and he was in that same spot. Like, he's literally like kind of wedged in that spot. So it's kind of it would be kind of hard for him to even from vibrations or anything. I've walked in and out of that door. She's walked in and out. Dylan's walked in and out.
You can jump around that whole thing. He won't move.
But all of a sudden, she comes through and she gets attacked by Santa.
Yeah, that was weird. So I was like, what is Santa?
Santa, stop it. So I go up to Santa. I said, "Santa, whatever's in here, you leave my Santa alone. I bought him brand new over the Dollar General. There should be nothing attached to him. So you guys don't start using my Santa and attaching to him so that you can do your little tricks that you're doing and pulling off on us." So,
and then, I would say maybe a week.
About your dream?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Week, 2
weeks. Yeah, I'd say a good week.
About a week ago, I had a very vivid dream, and it was scary, but it was.
You must be on the naughty list.
He grabs children.
No, they're on the naughty list. He's taking them to the reptilians.
I'm not a child.
Yeah, you're not a child anymore, no. Okay, go ahead. How about her dream?
So anyways, about a week ago, I had this very vivid dream of me waking up from a dream. This is so hard to describe because I know people are going to think I'm crazy. I'm having this dream of me having a dream and waking up from that dream. And when I woke up from the dream, inside my dream, I I was like very disoriented and dizzy, and I felt like I almost like I was drunk or like drugged or something. And so in this dream, I was trying to get up out of bed, and I was just stumbling around, and like my vision was blurry, everything was spinning around me, but I could tell that I was in our bedroom. Like I was in our apartment in the same place that I am while I'm sleeping. And so I'm, like I said, in this dream, I'm very like disoriented and dizzy and just like not feeling right. And so I'm trying to get up out of bed and I'm stumbling all over the place. And while this is happening in real time, I can feel like my eyes fluttering and stuff and like my body kind of twitching. Like I'm trying to wake up, but I'm like, I can't wake up. And so it almost felt like a sleep paralysis type of thing, but it gets weirder. So I'm finally able to wake up, and in real time, I'm not dizzy, I'm not disoriented, I'm perfectly fine. Um, but a few nights later, I had this same dream, and so I was like, okay, this is getting weird now. And so again, in my dream of me waking up from a dream, I am very disoriented and dizzy again and stumbling around, and Dylan's in the bed next to me like he would be in real time, and I'm like trying to like wobble over to him and wake him up and tell him like something's not right. I feel very not right in the head, and like something's wrong. Well, in this dream, I am still in my cover under the covers and everything, but somehow I get up out of bed and I'm getting pulled under the bed by something. I couldn't see what it was. It was almost like a ghost or like a invisible thing was pulling me under the bed with the blankets on by my feet. And again, in real time, I could feel my eyes fluttering, my arms moving, and everything like I'm trying to wake up, but I cannot wake up. And it freaked the fuck out of me. And so when I did wake up, it was like a cold sweat type of ordeal because, like, what the fuck does that mean?
And it's weird that you're having the same one over and over, but it
The
seems
second
like
time that when it got creepy and I got pulled under the bed, which thank God that can't happen in real life because we have like boxes and tote bags and stuff under there. But for some reason in this dream, something with my blanket on and everything, I was like sitting up like this, and then I get pulled like this, and then but this is like my legs, and I'm being pulled under the bed.
and it's interesting because you had the same dream, but what would happen if you have another one? It's because it's like each dream you're going a little bit further in the dream, like something a little bit further is happening.
And it got to the point where that got super scary. So like I think the next night I could not fall asleep. I was like almost afraid to fall asleep because I did not want to know what if I was going to have another dream like that and if it was going to get worse. What's under your bed? Anything in the totes and boxes that would want your attention?
I don't think so, huh?
Clothes, old books. No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have, I don't think anything, like, well, that chest that Dylan got from the witchy lady is in our bedroom.
Is it under the bed?
It's not under the bed, but it's in the same section of the bed that I kind of ended up at and then got pulled under.
But you've had that since last fall.
Yeah, that's true.
So you would think if it was, well, but sometimes things take a while to happen. Look at some of these stories that we cover. Some people have been in a place for so long. Look how long we were down in the place down there in Williamston before things started. But then
that's because our attitude, and just everybody.
We started getting depressed and and everything else and angry and all that stuff. There's a lot of ugliness as far as
But there is nothing under our bed that should be haunted, because it's either books like from our childhood that we've never had any issues with before, clean clothes that I still have yet to put up that I washed mostly for Dylan and he didn't put them up, and I don't know where to put them because they're his clothes and he does specific things with his clothes, so I'm not touching it. And snacks.
hmm.
And my computer.
Yeah, that's weird. I've had some weird dreams lately too, but they were like just scary, like somebody chasing me or something like that. But we've been watching a lot of these Mr. Ballin, and that there's a couple of stories we just watched lately that I'll probably cover on a future show. And
I would say that maybe it was from watching like the Mr. Ballin's videos so much or whatever, but I don't get scared from those videos, and I don't like some of them. I don't even remember what happened like the next
well,
day.
that's like Linda saying you need to stage your bedroom. Like your dad's, when I was telling him what some of these things that was happening, he says, "I hope you guys didn't bring something back from the temple." I said, we saged ourselves. He says, "Well, I don't want living in another haunted house." And I'm like, "Do you think
everywhere we go
yeah,
is
like
another haunted house?
It's just
like something follows us.
I mean,
everywhere we go.
every place has a history, but it does seem like that because it almost seems like from the time we moved from Evelyn's house.
Yeah. I don't think we ever had any issues at
Before
Dot's.
that. No. We didn't have anything in the double wide. We didn't have anything at Dot's. Ever since we moved from Evelyn's house, it seems like I wonder something there attached and just follows us.
It couldn't be Amy because Amy was specifically attached to Abby, and we think that she came through the vanity mirror.
And we're pretty sure she passed. We got her to pass on that she said what she needed to say or tell. She told her story, and we think she moved on. But it does seem like now, the more I think of it, since we lived and moved from Evelyn's house.
Yeah, because 7-Eleven is where Abby got scratched. And immediately, actually, even before we moved into that house, I looked at Abby and I said, I don't feel, this room feels heavy. And that was ironically
you did,
the room that she got put in.
Yeah.
And got scratched in. So.
She did say that too, because I remember when we walked in, when we were looking at the house, you said this room here feels heavy. There's something off about it. I do remember saying that. So
7-Eleven.
Yeah.
909.
909 start, then 7-Eleven, and then 108 was before. That was the double wide. Then
we didn't have anything happen.
No, and then Williamston. So
that's like 4 houses that we've been in so far.
And then this one. I mean, I can honestly, every now and then, whatever we feel in that hallway, and there does come across a little eerie, uneasy, and same as out in the art room. Sometimes when I go past the haunted mirror,
but it literally just could be because it's dark in there.
Yeah, and that's just it.
And your mind messes with you in the dark and everything.
But in this house, I don't feel like it's anything. Like, I just feel like it's more residual. There might be an intelligent one.
The only thing that scared me in this house a little bit was when I was sitting in the corner of the living room and I got a scratch on my face by nothing. That was a little scary. And I'm continually seeing that the little girl or tiny woman, whatever, I see her almost every day now. And that's another weird thing. There's this little girl that has been showing up, I guess, lately. And I haven't brought any new items. I see her almost every single day, and she walks over to. What was the last item that I got you from the that Indian statue? That wasn't from the church. Not from the church, no. From the church. What was the last item that I got you? I don't remember. Was it that? No.
You got me that a while ago. Was it a vase? What was
Oh
it?
yeah, I think it was that brown base.
Yeah, it was the vase, I think. Which kind of looks a little bit almost like it's a vase, but it has handles. It almost sometimes looks like an urn a little bit.
Not an urn.
But
So
yeah,
you're the reason for the haunting. No, when I pick out items, it's either because I'm drawn to them, but not like spiritually. I'm just drawn to them because I'm like, oh, this is something that I know mom would like. Or I'm just like, hmm. And I look around to see if there's anything else that I think that she would like, but sometimes there's only like one item and I'm like, oh, mom would like this. And then I don't get like drawn to it like, oh, what is that? You know?
and to change the subject on our haunting, one of these nights here, since the temperatures are going to be good, Gabrielle and I will go out. We'll do a live outside. We'll go by this house next to us, one that nobody's been living in since before we even moved in.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like,
I feel like we're gonna find a way to go in there.
It's the one I want Linda to move in.
I feel like because she was telling Abby about it earlier to see if they could try to get in there and whatever and live there. And I said, Abby, don't be surprised if you don't find a dead body in there. I feel like that would be the house because she wants to sneak in the basement and go in through the house that way. I'm like, when I think of what could happen, of course, my brain goes in like 80,000 directions. But if you ever watched the Goosebumps movie with Jack Black in it, it reminds me of in his house when the two boys tried to sneak in through the basement and there were bear traps all from like the front of the freaking door to the door that they came in from. That's what it reminds me of. I have a feeling that there's something in there that they don't want us to see.
Oh, I do too, but I don't care.
I gotta watch that movie.
And I feel like it's not good though.
The house wants me in there. That house wants me in there.
Something draws you in there that much. It's not good.
I need to go. It's not that I don't want. I need.
You know how creepy it is when you're walking in the kitchen and then it feels like something's watching you.
It's funny because when we walk in the
nothing.
When you walk in the kitchen and you go by the window that's facing there, no matter how many times you walk past, it's like you always have to look over and look at the house, walk past. Like it's like natural that the house it wants us there. But no, go ahead and send those pictures because here's two things that's going to happen. We will pick something up on it, hopefully for your sake, and we get spot on. Or if it's something that we shouldn't be picking up on, and things start happening, then I can guarantee you Tom will say, where did you get those pictures? Wherever you got them, send them back right now. And he would do that. So you'd be getting them sent right back to you. I doubt it. I mean, I don't know what the story is of the pictures. Apparently, she did tell Linda. Linda knows.
Well, it can't be anything evil if she's going to try to send it to us.
Well, that's just it. She wouldn't put us in that kind of situation. So I'm going to send these to you because they're evil. Yeah, see if you pick up evil stuff. So
here, these are demonic pictures. Have fun.
So, well, I mean, so yeah. Yeah, see, nothing's super bad.
That's reassuring.
I've been kind of having. What did you tell me what the pictures were of? Did you say they were of Paris? Is that what you told me, or you didn't tell me what they were?
I haven't written to Kiwi yet, but I will.
Oh, okay.
Reassuring.
Because I've been having in my dreams lately about getting some pictures in the mail, and they are of Paris. They are, I don't know why I'm dreaming of getting pictures in the mail, and they're photographs of different sites in Paris with people on them. I'm getting dreams about that, so I don't know. I have a pair, two paintings. They're hand painted then pictures? Is that what you said? Hand painted? Are they?
Is he dreaming?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. He's having a dream.
he's having a nightmare.
Him's crying and him sleep. I don't know what he's dreaming. I was playing that song for him that we tried to get up, and he was watching. He had a big smile on his face. Yeah, he really liked that song.
Oh, no.
I would like to try to play it here, but I don't know if it would echo or if it would play or what.
It would echo. It would not be good quality. We'd have to get it through the computer itself. Actually, we could.
That was Max.
I'm so stupid. We could
get it. Yeah, right. Yeah. So go ahead and play it. You guys want to hear that song? Well, wait a minute. Wait till I take this off.
Yeah, I could have done that. You wouldn't even.
Okay. Yeah, no. So I was, like I said, I've been dreaming of a set of pictures, but they weren't paintings. They were like snapshot pictures of Paris for some reason.
There we go. Okay. Now everybody shh. Wonder if we mute ourselves if it would still come through.
Go ahead. Well, no, I probably wouldn't. So we're just gonna have to. Oh, that's the wrong one. The wrong thing.
Screen glowing. Hear my voice cut through your heart. The other side we're dying. Every title feels like a dead. Or creaks in your headphones. Feels like something's already there. Welcome to the shift. Where the shadows can be regrets. In my pockets of real talk, Gabriella. Yeah. We got so don't straight. She got theories off the wall. She was next behind your screen. Trying to buy if your ex keeps texting, it's a demon in their mind. For real. Scroll past, but the title keeps calling your name. You laugh at Gabriella, and something moves off frame. Diane says, did you hear? The room goes still and then click away from me. But the story's still sinking. Welcome to the night shift. One more clip, one more case, you swear you're done. Yeah, right. Real talk turns unreal when the hallway starts to hum. Let the comments keep you company till the sunrise breaks the spell. Stay in the circle, we'll keep your nightmares felt so well.
you go, guys. What do you think of that? I'll post a link.
Hold on, it's playing something else too. Okay.
Nope, you got to go back on there now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll post. Matter of fact, I'll send the link to you, Cactus, and I'll send it to Kiwi so that you both can listen to it.
I could just post it in the comments.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could. There you go. So there's the song. So what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm not sure if you mentioned Paris to me, but I keep on having the dream, and it's ironic because it is the dream is there's the Eiffel Tower there, and there's a couple people, and I wish I could remember my dream. Oh, there's a couple people there, like a man and a woman, I believe, and I think there's some people like in the background, but this image just keeps on coming to me. And I wasn't sure if you had mentioned Paris to me or not. I'll have to go back and listen to some of your voice messages to see if you do. So it could have been just my subconscious if you send Paris. But I know you didn't say I don't think the Eiffel Tower or anything like that. So, but that's the image that I keep on getting in my head in my dreams. And I've had it probably 3 or 4 times the same dream now. The Eiffel Tower, a man and a woman. I think he has his arm around her, or she has her arm around him. And there's some people in the background. It's just weird. So, do I buy lottery tickets? We every now and then will buy a lottery ticket, but not lately. But Tom come home the other day and he says, "Hun, we're going to start allotting." We live paycheck to paycheck, but he says we're going to start allotting like X amount to get lottery tickets each pay or at least once a month, so we can see if we can win something. So, but what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to get that song on this channel and the other side, so that'll be kind of almost like our intro song for when we come on and do our shows. I like the individual song for Real Talk. I like the individual one that I have for the other side, and I like the one that I have for Gabriella. But this song here, I just absolutely love it because it covered both, and I think it's so perfect because it literally hits the show, it hits Gabriella's theories, and I think it's so pretty, and it really hits the show. So maybe it'll mean she'll win the lottery and go to Paris. I would love to go to Paris, but that's not on the top of my list. Although I would like to go see the Eiffel Tower and stuff. I want to go to Spain. I would love to go to New Zealand. I would love to go to Italy, Germany, any one of the Scandinavian countries. Denmark, Norway, Switzerland. Any one of those, I definitely would not mind going to. I want to go to Australia, but at the same time, they got so many critters there that's poisonous and could kill you that it kind of scares you.
Unless I end up there by accident, I'm not going to Australia anytime soon. So,
the catacombs. Woo. Yeah. So, but we are at our 1.5 hour mark. The link to that song's on there if you guys want to listen to it. It does put the lyrics on there. The link
to the song is up there, and the link to the video of the interview.
And watch Casper's site. The one, if you go on his channel and scan through, it's going to be very easy to recognize because you'll see, I think it shows him, and then in red letters it says reptilian, like going up. And so watch that, and he covers the reptilians and that whole topic that we just covered. So once again, you guys are awesome. Now keep in mind, Saturday we will not have a show on the other side. It will be a live Real Talk with the rest of that footage. Tomorrow, the Universal Yums is coming in. We got to sit down and discuss when we're going to do that, and it'll probably be Eric with us, I think, this time, because Abby did the last one. So I think it'll be Eric with us. Because Abby did Eric did the around the world one, I think. Abby did, she wanted the.
Yeah, because Abby and Chase
yeah,
were both.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so I think it's Eric's time again. Of course, Abby's welcome to come if she wants, but,
Ew.
so, but with that being said, we're going to let you guys go. You have probably better things to do than listen to my mouth yapping. Cactus, yeah, definitely still send us pictures. Like, don't worry about, like, because it's something like would kind of get weird. I can tell you, Tom would say, "I don't know where you got this."
And I have plenty of
Yeah,
sage,
yeah.
so I could easily.
I'm not even slightly worried
Sage
about that,
voice.
but yeah. So, but I must be wanting you to send them if I'm having a dream and you're saying that it is Paris, Eiffel Tower, and my dream I'm seeing Paris and Eiffel Tower and a couple people in it. So I must be wanting to see it really bad. But with that being said, you know how we end. Thank you all for joining us. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends, friends, all that good stuff. We will see you again on Tuesday, then on the other side, and next Thursday on Real Talk, unless we decide to do the Universal Yums before then. And stay tuned on Saturday on Lurking Spirits. So stay tuned, y'all.
Dan, peace out.
We love you lots. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Good night.